Growing up, I played a lot of video games. From the ages of like 4 to 14, that's all I did. Then when high school started, I began branching out, played a little bit less, but I still played video games. I loved them so much growing up. Whenever I got questions about what I was going to do when I grew up, the answer was always, I wanted to make video games. Uh, I, as I got older, that passion kind of went away, but I was still interested in coding and computer science. So for high school, I found this 2-year like coding program, which it basically ate up half of my school day, which turned into about like a quarter of my total high school time. So this program taught me a lot about coding. I learned several languages. I taught myself C++ in this. There was JavaScript, Java, website development design, Python. So I got pretty into coding during this time. And one day when I was learning JavaScript, I tried to make a panel move. And then I tried to make it collide with another panel. And then that eventually turned into a game I made. And here it is in all of its glory. Yeah, okay. It needs some work. The game is a roguelike, so basically what that boils down to, random rooms, random items, fight a boss at the end. Not much more to it. There is random upgrades in the dungeons, and there's a bunch of like items to find. A lot of these games have like gimmicks, and this one is no different. The gimmick was you can merge swords together, and then you would mix their like abilities, and you could create some really interesting combinations. I spent most of class working on this game, to be honest, and I taught myself basically everything. I'm gonna use teach loosely here because it was more comparable to throwing shit at a screen and seeing what sticks. I didn't watch many like tutorials or guides, so everything was mostly done by me. I made several of my own terrible algorithms, and I made my own like system for level design and like loading like entities in, and it was kind of a mess, to be honest. But it was a very fun project. Eventually, high school wrapped up, and I handed in the project for a grade, and I went on to college. In high school, I learned I liked to program a lot, but I couldn't really see it as a career. It just wasn't really speaking to me that much. So I pivoted to electrical and computer engineering. This meant a lot less code in the early years, which kind of like bummed me out because I was already good at coding, but it was whatever. The first semester of college like flew by, and I had very little time for any coding projects or really anything related to like video games like at all. So not much really got done. Over the winter break, I tried making a C++ like port of the game, which I got running. I got a couple small stuff going with it, but nothing really took off on that. And then the second semester started, and it started off pretty similar to the first. Then, have you ever seen the memes about how the college friend group like implodes and it's like a disaster and everything is terrible? Well, they were real. They happened, and I found myself with a lot of free time. Like my classes were hard. Don't like get me wrong, but I didn't have that much like study for. So I just found myself sitting in my room, not doing much. So I decided to put my energy towards the game again, but this time I was going to try it a little bit differently. I found a framework and a new language, and I got to work. This is the new refined game, which is still untitled at the moment. It's the same genre and similar bones as before, but the core concept has been refined slightly. It took a lot to get to this point again, and it was not just a simple copy and paste from the old game. All the code had to be rewritten in the new language, and components like the user interface had to be completely made from scratch by me. I still kept my original make it now, fix it later approach, so a lot of code has been made and then deleted and then made again. Many guides or tutorials say to plan stuff out, but I honestly just find getting started and making mistakes along the way just works way better for actually making something. I took this time of reworking the whole game's code to also rework some of the actual gameplay. In the first copy of the game, there was items, there was swords, and then there was stats. And they all were kind of at odds with each other. They all used the same currency, and then you would have merged the swords together. It was a very awkward, kind of misfitting puzzle. So in the new version, I took the liberty to just simplify it completely. Instead of stats, there's now levels, and you get levels by defeating enemies. Simple. And then the weapons have been completely streamlined into, there's guns, and you merge them together, and you make new, cooler guns. And then I completely removed items from the game. So now there's only 2 ways of gaining power. I just think it's simpler to understand, and like, I can show it to my friend and be like, go shop, buy weapon, be stronger. Simplicity in a game, especially like a smaller game like this, I think is a big boon, because if you have so many overlapping and complex systems, it's hard for anyone to really understand, and no one wants to put in the time to learn it. Also, during this phase, I spent a little bit more time on the art, so you'll notice there's animations now, and the pixel sizes are consistent, and there's a little more detail on the walls, and the floor has a little funny pattern on it, and there's flowers on the walls in some areas. Little like details like this really, I think, made the game a lot more interesting to look at instead of just kind of slop. And I don't know, I'm really proud of it, or as proud as I could be of that terrible art. I'm a really bad artist, so anything's really a improvement. I worked on the new version for about 4 months, and a lot of my waking hours have been devoted to it. I found once I started, it was really hard to actually stop. I don't think I'm going to listen to the younger version of me and make it my career, but it's definitely a fun hobby. And if you ever find yourself with a bunch of free time looking for something to do, it's worth a shot. Getting started isn't too hard, but there's definitely a very high ceiling to it if you want to do some more complex stuff. But getting started is not stressful at all, and it is actually very, very fun. I wouldn't put too much stock into what anyone else has to say. Like, don't spend too much time planning because a tutorial tells you to, or don't spend too much time trying to refine the perfect game concept that's gonna go viral. Just get started, do your own thing, and I really think that goes for anything in life, even beyond just games. And that's me rambling about what I've been doing for the past 4 months. Thank you for watching, and I probably will never see you again. Goodbye.